Thanks for tuning into another episode of Quik Reaction TV. If you're new to the channel, please like, subscribe, and tap the bell for new releases. It's free and helps out a lot. We've got a good selection today. Quik!
The final goal is to eradicate humanity as we know it. Once you understand the final destination, it becomes much easier to look back and identify the psychological conditioning, the biological tampering, the cultural grooming, and the educational prepping that we have been subjected to for decades in preparation to making us accept a post-human future. It takes a lot of physical and psychological abuse to get an intelligent species like ours to agree to its own extinction. Most, if not all, that has transcended in the last 60 years was designed to get us closer to accepting such a dystopian reality. Whether you care to accept it or not, we live in a hyper-controlled matrix where our perception of reality is meticulously planned, managed, and executed in order to control and steer us in whichever direction they wish. And the direction is a post-human world. For this, they first needed to destabilize, dehumanize, and demoralize humanity through every means possible. The destruction of the nuclear family, children being indoctrinated by the state, abortion, the eradication of God and spirituality from education, life in megacities and away from nature, toxic food, air and water, social media, replacing real human connection and interaction, engineered financial crisis and taxation, endless wars and massive migration, stress, anxiety, depression, drugs and alcohol, constant fear-mongering, moral relativism as the new religion, and I could go on and on about how humanity has been influenced and forced to move away from all the things that give us strength, security, purpose, and meaning. A weak, immoral, disconnected, ignorant, and unhealthy population is an easy target for the next stage, the creation of an entire generation of androgynous beings. Masculinity is under attack psychologically, culturally, and biologically. Women are being replaced in sports, entertainment, and politics by men pretending to be women. And children are being indoctrinated at school to think that gender is a choice. The transgender movement is not a grassroots movement. It comes from the top. It has nothing to do with people's freedom of expression, sexuality, or civil rights. It's an evil psyop with a clear agenda to get us closer to transhumanism by making us question the most fundamental notion of human identity, our gender. If you don't know who you are, if you already identify as a hybrid between a man and a woman, you will be easily convinced to become a hybrid between human and machine. Gender ideology is the 2 + 2 = 5 from George Orwell's 1984 dystopian novel. It's the final test to see whether we will follow the most absurd party line towards our own extinction. But 2 + 2 = 4. And no matter how you choose to dress, call yourself, or change your physique, will not change that. The sad reality, though, is that in the gaslighting process to get us closer to a post-human future, they have mentally and physically harmed an increasing number of children and young people, and it's only getting worse. This must be stopped.
Yeah, her, whoever she is, I love her already.
Jewish history, and it begins with 3 words. Dear Lord Rothschild.
Dear Lord Rothschild, I have much pleasure in conveying to you, on behalf of His Majesty's government, the following declaration of sympathy with Jewish Zionist aspirations, which has been submitted to and approved by the Cabinet.
Primarily a movement from Eastern Europe, but they didn't clarify who was in charge of that movement. And in addition, it was, after all, in Great Britain. So they felt that the Rothschild family should be the one to whom it was addressed. And Walter was Lord Rothschild, and he was a Zionist.
If I could possibly ask you to read it for us.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. I should be grateful if you would bring this declaration to the knowledge of the Zionist Federation. Yours, Arthur Balfour.
And here it is, the Balfour Declaration. What do you feel when you see it here?
I genuinely feel it's one of the most extraordinary moments in the history of the Jewish people.
Meyer Amschel Bauer, born in Frankfurt, Germany in 1744, was a moneylender and a goldsmith on Jew Street, whose shop had a sign out front with a red hexagram on it. Eventually, he would change his name to Rothschild, which is German for red sign. Rothschild soon learned that loaning money to governments and kings was more profitable than loaning money to private individuals. Not only were the loans bigger, but they were secured by the nation's taxes. Meyer Rothschild had 5 sons whom he trained in the skills of money creation and sent out to the major capitals of Europe to open branches of the family banking business.
Where does that symbol come from?
It's never written explicitly in the Bible itself.
Is it in the Talmud? Perhaps. Is there a passage in the Bible about that or no?
No.
Okay. So you're not really sure exactly where that comes from?
No. You got me.
Is it nobody knows,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not. There must be somewhere. I do not remember exactly.
I believe that what they call the Star of David is actually the Star of Remphan. Because when you study the Bible, you'll see that when they worshipped other gods, the Bible talks about them carrying the banner of the star of their god Remphan.
You took up for yourself the star, that's the 6-pointed star, of your god, called Remphan or Kiyun. All these were names for Moloch, the great Baal, the great fire god, who was the devil.
Beelzebub.
They sacrificed their own children, the Jews did, to the star god.
When they worshipped a false god, they had the Star of Remphan as an icon and as a symbol. We never see a Star of David in Scripture, but the star of the false god Remphan. And so we know today that they are not worshiping the true God, because the Bible says, "He that denieth the Son, the same hath not the Father. But he that acknowledgeth the Son hath the Father also." If the Jews do not believe on the Son, the Bible says they don't have the Father. So who do they have? Somebody else.
It's facts. It's not facts. These facts are not facts.
We have breaking news and a ruling that could decimate the landmark Voting Rights Act. A panel of federal appeals court judges has ruled that only the federal government, not citizens, not groups, can sue under a key part of the Voting Rights Act, which effectively guts that legislation in 7 states. Joyce Vance is back with us. That word decimate comes from UCLA election law expert who is Jane Tim, who wrote this story for us, talked to. Is it that serious?
It is extremely serious. But the first thing we should say, Chris, is that this will now be appealed to the Supreme Court of the United States. Although this is the law in the 8th Circuit, the impact is in the future, because what this in essence does is it says that during a Republican administration in the future, where the Justice Department might not be inclined to bring challenges under Section 2, no one else could do it. So that would mean that the cases that we've seen since the 2020 census that have challenged racially motivated gerrymanders, those types of lawsuits would cease to exist, since they could only be brought by DOJ and not by the private parties who routinely bring them, unless the Supreme Court acts to reverse this decision.
It's fucking dark shit, but when you find out the prevalence of it in the Catholic Church, it's like, holy shit. They would catch these guys molesting children, they move them somewhere else. There was one guy that Pope Benedict had moved from one place to another place, and this one priest went on to molest 100 deaf kids. They brought him to a place where the kids were deaf. I mean, is there another organization that's so inexorably tied to child molesting like the Catholic Church?
Oftentimes pedophiles will become priests just because so they can get access to children.
Well, not just access to children, but access to children where they are the representatives of God. So they have power over the parents, they have power over the church.
Dark.
It's dark, man. It's not a blanket statement you could say about people who run daycares. It's not. But man, when it comes to Catholic Church, It's so prevalent and so hidden.
Oh, I'm beating your ass.
The depiction of Jesus was switched over to the face that became the global popular face. That was actually Caesar Borgia, who was actually one of the sons of an actual pope, and killed his own brother to try to take his place. This guy was just an evil, brutal, killing ruler. His father commissioned the artist to paint his image as the image of Jesus, and that image still propagates the planet till this very day. So the image that a lot of people are praying to is not the Jesus that they think it is, but actually a natural-born killer.
Sitchin, he wrote all these books about this culture from another planet called the Anunnaki. See that thing that he's holding up in front of him? That is a piece of Sumerian art. Yeah. See the star, the sun with all the planets? That is our solar system. It's not just our solar system, that is all the planets in all the right sizes. This was 6,000 years ago. It also depicted this orbit, this elliptical orbit of this planet called Nibiru. This is where the Anunnaki came from. They came down here, they studied some lower hominids, they introduced their DNA into these lower hominids and made human beings. The description of Anunnaki, what it means is those from heaven to earth came. There's these also depictions of these enormous people with these little monkey people sitting in their lap. And this was what he believed was describing the Anunnaki's genetic alterations of monkeys. Not only that, they had the caduceus, you know the caduceus, the symbol for medicine. It's also the double helix of DNA, and that's what he believes it represented. He believes that that caduceus symbol represents DNA.
But it also looks like a guy was just like trying to decorate with two snakes.
Totally.
Doing the tango.
But why does it represent medicine? And why does it still represent medicine today?
Stop.
No, buddy, the safest thing to do is stay in our nice, safe house. Thank God they're back, Kyle. Or I see lights. Wait, is that them? Shoot. That was a wreck. Shoot. It's blowing. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I know. There go our new plant. No, from all this rain. That was crazy, Kyle.
So do y'all know what happened energetically yesterday? Scientists baffled after extremely high energy particles detected falling to Earth. Experts have been left wondering how the event could even happen, as particles appear to emerge from the local void, an empty area of space bordering the Milky Way galaxy. It is one of the highest energy cosmic rays ever detected according to scientists. The Amaterasu particle has an energy exceeding 240 electron volts. We've been telling y'all that the frequency is changing. Now we're having high energy electron particles coming from outer space and hitting the planet. We even had whole shifts in the Schumann frequency. Y'all remember when this happened in June? There is a shift that has happened energetically with the whole planet. I know y'all noticed yesterday that the holidays didn't feel so holiday-ish. Even today, Black Friday, there was nobody standing outside waiting for the doors to open. Just goes to show you, the frequency of the planet is changing. Y'all let me know what y'all think about these high energy particles in the comments. Like and follow for more wisdom, and stay tuned. Follow me on YouTube if y'all want that exclusive content. Stay tapped in.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
This ring, or the rainbow circle halo that you see around this sun. This is one of the most important things going on in our realm or on our planet right now that you should know about. And I'm gonna tell you why it's so important. You have to know that all of us, when we grow up, what do we get taught about looking at the sun? We all get taught, never look at the sun because it'll blind you, right? Number two, this guy right here and his whole plan to dim the sun or block out the sun using clouds. Do you think that they're trying to do that to help us out? I'm gonna tell you this, the ancients would never approve blocking out the sun. Why? I wanted to find out what everybody believed in before religion came into play, because there are way too many religions. Not everybody could be right. So before there were a whole bunch of different religions, what did everybody believe in? What I found was every single civilization across the entire planet worshiped the sun as God. What they wrote was the sun is the physical manifestation of God in this realm or on earth. And when you think about it, bro, let there be light. The sun was first. Now I was doing some research on the sun halos or the rainbow rings around the sun. And this is what it said, more fear tactics. Look, sun halos themselves are not harmful to observe. However, it is important to avoid looking directly at the sun as its intense rays can damage the eye. Somebody doesn't want you to ever look at the sun. It gets deeper. I've came across pictures that people have took of the ring around the sun as far back as 10 years ago. But the further you look back, the more rare that the pictures are to find. Once it hits 2019 and 2020, that's when the pictures start popping up everywhere. People are all over the place taking pictures, wondering what it is. I'm about to bring it around full circle for you, watch, because it gets deeper. I know y'all have heard about this. In 2012, there was supposed to be a mass awakening. People talk about it all the time, about how Earth is shifting from 3D to 5D. The entire consciousness, the vibration of our planet is raising. That's because of this. The energy that the sun is giving off is what's creating that. The sun is radiating new energy that will raise all of our vibrations. And when you look at the sun, it raises your vibration, it heals your vessel, it stimulates your third eye. This is why they told you to never look at it. In 2020 is when the pictures of the rainbow rings around the sun started popping up everywhere. What happened in 2020? Now some people think that these were meant to really help you and keep you healthy, or could it have been to stop the mass awakening, stop everyone's vibration from raising? If you've never looked at it your entire life, it'll be extremely uncomfortable when you first start. First 10 minutes of sunrise and sunset, it'll be easier on your eyes will adjust. Get those light codes, get those downloads, stimulate your third eye, raise your vibration, use the sun. A lot of people go their entire lives and never look at the sun. And a lot of people go their entire lives and never see anything with their third eye.
Everyone wants to know if their third eye is open. This is exactly how you can find out. It's simple. After the meditation, if you see the floating orb or flame with your third eye, like thousands of others have, that would suggest that your third eye is what people refer to as open or functioning properly. If you are not able to see the orb with your third eye, like most others that have done this meditation, that would suggest that you did not follow the instructions given in the video tutorial correctly, or your third eye may not be open or functioning properly.
If you'd like to know if your third eye is functioning properly, you can do this exercise.
My nigga.
Hey, what's up? We back today with another one, and we'll be talking about this blue sun that everybody been seeing in the sky. All over the world, people are witnessing the same stuff. You have to look directly behind the sun in order to see this. So you guys must understand that a blue star is a new star. The blue stars have the highest temperature and the highest density level out of all the different stars. You guys have to understand that the sun is a star, and the star is a sun also. So now we have two suns in our sky. The blue sun is letting off higher frequencies than our original sun. This is also us jumping from the third dimension to the fifth dimension. These new frequencies are benefiting us in positive ways. They are altering and upgrading our genetics. These new upgrades literally turn us to superheroes, and they know it. You have 97% of your DNA locked, but this is the key to unlocking it. They know that these energies were coming, and they set up 5G towers. These 5G towers, they let off alpha waves, and that is extremely low frequencies that destroy the body and the brain. So they are literally trying to fight against this new energy that is coming in, and this new energy is trying to help you. They even put this stuff on the credit cards, two suns. They knew when the new energy came in, this would destroy their money system. The Hopis was one of our native tribes, and they called this blue sun the blue star Kachina. And they said that this star would symbolize the coming of a new world. The elders say that the blue star would come and purify those who need help. And then the red star would show up. This is his brother. But the red star represents destruction, and it would destroy all those who are wicked and evil. I want everybody to know that the blue star is here, and we are in the time of purification. The Hopi say that this star will show itself at the end of a cycle, and we are at the end of a Piscean age going into the Aquarian age. It's also a coincidence that we are in the heart chakra going up to the throat chakra, and the color for the throat chakra is blue. Also, I don't know if a lot of you guys are familiar with Andre 3000, but he just released a new album, and it's called The New Blue Sun. He's not saying the word on this album. He's just blowing his flute. But this flute that he have is like a magical flute. This is like two flutes in one, and he understands the science of it. This flute let off a high frequency that can heal the body and the mind. It's critical that you understand the frequencies that you are listening to. So to wrap this lecture up, yes, we have two suns in our sky. Our blue star family is here to help us. We are still in the healing process. But soon, the red star Kachina will be here as well, and we will have three suns in our sky. And this new red sun, it will take out all those who aren't ready. I hope y'all like the lecture. Peace and ashe, guys.